everyone! Today I wanted to share with you my top project pan advice and tips and that kind of a thing. I have a little notebook here. I've written down like 10 things that I think would really help me with project pans. So in case if you're in a project pan, if you're thinking about doing a project pan, if you've done a project pan, if you like watching project pan videos, just anything with a project pan, I think these are some great tips to keep in mind. So I have done 2 project pans successfully, like completed them, and then I'm working on my 3rd one right now, and I am probably going to do one at the beginning of the year. So I really like them. It helps me use up my products, especially I have a lot of deluxe size samples. And that's the first thing I want to talk about is when you're picking your items, and you've maybe never done a project pan before, or you have some harder items that are going to take some more time, I think it's important to have a variety of items and items that are going to take a different amount of time to use up. So if I have a bronzer in my project pan, which is going to take me a long time to use up, I might put in a couple samples of face primers, just because then I can go through those and I'll feel like I'm making progress even though it's going to take me a long time to get through like a full-sized item. So if you have deluxe size samples, definitely throw them in. It's not cheating. You're still using it up completely. So that's something that I would keep in mind if you're picking items. Okay, so along the line, let's talk about like picking things. Something that I did over the summer, I did a Project 20 pan, and it was my first one. And I gave myself like the entire summer to do it. I decided that instead of just having 20 items that I was going to use up, I was going to pick 5 extra. And that just gave me a little bit of peace of mind and a little bit of leeway. Some things at the beginning that I thought that I would use up, you know, super quick, I'm still not done with. Or maybe things that I thought would take a really long time, I finished up, you know, a lot sooner than I thought. So I think having a few like extra items in there, a little bit of wiggle room really helps. So if you're new to it, I would definitely suggest doing that. I mean, I still do it. I'm doing it right now in my current project pan. I am doing a 10 pan, and I picked 15 items to use. And some of them I know I'm not going to use up, but I want to focus on them and like see where I'm going. So that's another tip for you guys. It really has helped me in the past, and like I said, I'm still learning how long it takes me to use things up if I use it every single day. If I use a lipstick every single day, how many days will it take me, or how many months, or how many weeks will it take me to use it up? And that's something that I'm still trying to figure out for myself. So you might think that, you know, a lipstick or a lip gloss will take forever for you to use up, but then maybe it won't. So that's something that I would recommend, is just putting a couple other things in, and it'll give you a little bit more variety as well. Okay, also when you're picking your items, I would suggest picking a variety of textures and like colors. So for me, I have 4 lip products, I guess, in my current project pan. So I have 1 lip gloss, 2 lipsticks, and then 1 tinted lip balm. So those are all different textures, and all 4 of them are different shades. So if one day I'm really just not feeling the gloss, or it's really windy and I don't need my hair sticking to my lips, then I have other options, and I don't feel like I'm not making progress on my project pan if I don't use that specific lip gloss. I have a lipstick I'm supposed to be working on too, or the tinted lip balm. So that's something that I am a firm believer in. Especially for lips, I think that's a really big thing for me, at least, is I get sick of lip products super easily. So if I have a little, you know, mini collection to pick from, it helps. All right. So another thing, if you watch any project pan videos, I think you'll see a lot of people mark like on the side of their item where they are. Like, this is where I was at the beginning, and then 2 weeks from, you know, 2 weeks after that, and then 2 weeks after that. I really like that. It gives you some things you don't realize you're using up, or you don't know how much, and just looking at it, I mean, you're looking at it every single day. Whereas me, if I'm watching your YouTube channel, I haven't seen those products for those 14 days that you've been using them. I just saw it, you know, before and after. So I've seen a lot of people where if they don't mark products, people in the comments will say, oh my gosh, like I see so much progress on that eyeliner, when the person in the video will be like, oh, I'm not making any progress. But you are, and maybe you just don't know it. So I would recommend, you know, once a week, every other week, whatever, whatever floats your boat, just get out a Sharpie and mark it. And I think you'll be surprised on how much product you actually use up in 2 weeks of time. It doesn't seem like that long a time, But that, I mean, even if you don't wear makeup every day, maybe you wear makeup 4 days out of the week, that's 8 days of wearing makeup that can get a solid like usage on if you have marks. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, so another thing is it's really important to use these products daily. So if you really want to use things up, sometimes people do it in a timeline, or you know, like they want these done by the end of the year or whatever. Then it's really important to use the products every day. So what helps me is I get ready at my desk here, and I have this like center drawer that I keep all the makeup that I'm using for the week. And I put all my Project Pan items in there. If I can see it when I'm getting ready, I'm more likely to use it than if I have it, you know, stashed away in a drawer or whatever, or in a different makeup bag. I'm not going to use it. So the other thing that I personally have had a lot of success for, but it could be just me, I drive a lot. I live about 45 minutes away from school, so I drive there and back a couple times a week. So I'm in my car a lot, but I always keep like a chapstick or a lip gloss or something like that in my car, and every time I'm in my car, I put it on. And so like if you're driving for a long period of time, maybe it'll wear off or whatever, and you can reapply it. Sometimes whatever product I have in my car, you know, it works really well and it'll stay on my lips the whole time. But for me at least, I know I'm in my car a lot, and it's one of those things where every time I get in, I start my car, put on my seatbelt, put on my lip gloss. Like it's just something I do, and it helps me get through things really quickly. I do that even if I'm not on a Project Pan, just to get through stuff, because I have a lot of lip gloss that I want to get through, and that is one way that I really enjoy, like have found myself using things up without feeling like I'm forcing it on myself. Another thing that I mentioned in my last Project Pan is I had a lipstick, and I didn't really care for the color on me. I mean, it wasn't god awful or anything, but it just, something about it I didn't like, and I didn't really feel comfortable wearing it out or anything. So that was the lipstick that I wore at home. So whenever I felt my lips get dry, I would put on that lipstick and use it up. Faith here on YouTube mentioned, I think she made a video kind of like this, and she showed that she had like a lipstick in her bathroom, and you know, like every time she washed her hands, she'd just throw on some lipstick. And if there's something that you really don't like, some color that doesn't really suit you, but you want to use it up, use it at home. No one cares. I mean, that's at least what I think. But all right, and then my last thing that really helps me, this is something that I tell myself every single day when I'm putting on whatever it is that's in my Project Pan, and I don't know if it's gonna make sense or not, but I tell myself in my head, every time I use blank product, if it's a primer, a chapstick, a lipstick, whatever, it's one less time I have to use it in the end. So say I have a lip gloss, and I'll get 50 like applications out of it. You know, in the morning I'll tell myself, all right, let me just put this on, and I'm down to 49, or, you know, that's one less time I have to wear it. And I'm not saying you should do a Project Pan with like all things that you absolutely hate, because you're probably just not gonna succeed. You're not gonna go anywhere with it. I like to have a mixture of things that I like, things that, you know, like don't really bother me, and then maybe like 1 or 2 items that I'm not so fond of. I'd feel better just getting them out of my collection. So having a mixture like that, and then reminding yourself every time I use it, I'm, you know, one day closer to being done with it. So those are my tips. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, let me know down below if you're doing a Project Pan, if you've done a Project Pan, what your tips are, or what you do to be successful. I love hearing about that and seeing these videos. Especially for me, since I am doing a Project Pan, I do find them helpful. I know Cherish has done one. Like I said, Faith has done one, I'm pretty sure. And I think I've seen some from other people here on YouTube too. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope this was somewhat helpful for you, maybe. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I'd love to see you stick around, and definitely leave me a comment if you're in a Project Pan, pan that palette, anything like that. I'd love to hear about it. And have an awesome day, guys. Bye.